So these are some of the things that are happening within the school system. People of color, you guys need to wake up. You guys need to know what's going on. This is, if these things and what am I about to explain, if these things are just a theory or, they're untrue, statistics wouldn't look the way that they look today with people of color, with African Americans, with the Spanish culture, with just people of color, period. And so I wanted to start off and talk about this because I really want to shed some light on it again, as I said in my previous videos. YouTube, I made some short videos on YouTube. It kind of won't let me record longer, and I know that's because I need more viewers and more followers and things like that. So if you guys could just please like my video, share it, show me some love here. So let's get into the topic. People of color, again, you guys need to be awake and aware of what's going on. And so I've noticed how we just had one of the biggest movements and protests on systematic oppression and systematic racism. Let me tell you, this is absolutely real. And I have experienced this full force. And so for an example, what I've noticed is, so when you sign your kids up for school, I try to get my son in a private school, but that's a process, as us parents know. That's hard. Everybody wants to get their kids in a private school, rightfully so, because that's just the better option. But my son was going to a public school, which I'm not the biggest fan of. And so what I've noticed with the system is, what they start to do is they have your child working with a social worker, with a psychiatrist, with school behavioral managers, with social workers. And what they do is they start to work with your child. And so in order for any of these people to work with your child legally, they have to communicate with you. If there's any concerns and they feel like they need to work with their child, they need to communicate that with you. If they want to do an evaluation, they need to communicate with that with you, and they need to get your consent. So basically you sign a paper on that. And so what they're doing is, and there's a lot of young people, young moms, young people in general, who aren't aware of their rights and what a teacher or what the school can or cannot do. And I want to shed some light to that because it's very important for us, especially us young women of culture, to know what a school can or cannot do. It's very important for us to know these things. That way we can protect our children from this systematic oppression and the systematic racism that's still continuing even during the pandemic. It's just mind-boggling. It's just heartbreaking. It's just absolutely disgusting. So what they do is they work with your child behind your back. And by the time you are even knowing they're working with your child, they have already built a case. They have already tried to classify your child as either special ed or, your child needs help or he's aggressive. They do whatever they can to label your child. And once that happens, anything that happens or occurs with your child negatively, will be filed or documented within the school system. So once this happens, this makes it harder for your child to be able to, get accepted into certain schools. And this is how they control, this is how they control the statistics with African Americans, with black people, with people of culture, again, like I said. And so they start with you from a very young age, and they take the opportunity of your future away from you before you even have the opportunity to have one. And so